Hello, I'm Pam of Pam Shepherd Ministries, SHEPPARD. Search with my name and you will come up with page after page after page of material. Or you can read the description in YouTube or turn on your captions for more information about PSM. Now, I have been in ministry for, I believe it's 37 years. And I've been born again this month, March 29th. It will be 43 years born again. And I've been through some things, okay? And what I try to do with these videos is help you who are probably going through similar things that I have been through. So today I want to speak on the dangers of being a babe in Christ today in our times. I am a bit turned off by what I see being preached and taught on these various, I call them renegades, those who are out here online, on YouTube, ministering. And one of the things that they have come up with, for the most part, is that you don't need a pastor. And that is one of the biggest errors these ministries are making. They're getting out there, and telling you, beware of this, beware of that, beware of the other. Do this, do that, do the other. And yet, they are not presenting themselves as pastors to you because they don't really know what a pastor is. And that's understandable because the church doesn't know what a pastor is. But this Bible lays it out. Okay. What a pastor does is be a spiritual parent to the newly born again. The very first assignment that a religious evil spirit has is to destroy the babes in their spiritual infancy. And I don't care how old you are, the enemy is out to destroy you. Okay? And I don't care how old you are, if you got born again at 80 years old, you are a babe in Christ. You are a babe in the Spirit. I want you to hear what Paul said to the babes. And he says it like this. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Christ. I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able. For you are yet carnal. Okay? So that is the situation and the circumstance of a newly born again person. So, what are you supposed to have as a newly born again person? You should have a pastor. Now, let's define what a pastor is. A pastor is not the one that is behind the pulpit bringing forth a group message, nor is the pastor the one who is representing you in your community, on this committee or that committee. Nor is the pastor necessarily the one who buries you. A pastor is a spiritual parent who is in charge of the babes. The pastor is to do what the Lord said to Peter. Feed the sheep and tend the sheep. When you're feeding the sheep, you're teaching them. You're explaining the word to them. You're helping them to mature. But when you're tending them, then what you're doing is protecting them from harm, protecting them from the devil. The same way a mother and a father protects a newborn baby in the natural is what a pastor is supposed to do in the spirit. Feed and protect. Help to grow. Nurture. That is the role of the pastor. Now, the teaching that there should be no pastors is coming out of the fact that in the institutional church, there really are no pastors. Now, there are administrators and managers, okay, and maybe even a few teachers, but there are no pastors. So, it's a strange kind of argument whereby you got the YouTube people saying, you don't need a pastor. What they really mean is, you don't need a pastor like that. You don't need that administrative model whereby you are there in the midst of the crowd alone with nobody helping you as an individual to grow and be nurtured and to be protected from Satan. So, in that sense, the YouTube renegaders are right. You don't want a pastor like that. But where they're wrong is to make orphans out of YouTube watchers and viewers who, what do they have? They have a little place where they can comment, and if you are somebody who has thousands and thousands of viewers, all you're doing is just what the pastors in the IC, the institutional church, do. You are speaking forth, but you really don't have any personal connection to that babe in Christ. And all you are doing is facilitating their ability to be an orphan without the spiritual nurturing and protection that they need that you on YouTube and TV cannot provide. I know what I'm talking about. I was in the institutional church for 25 years as an orphan. I got born again at home, never having been to church. And then I had 3 dreams that sent me to church. But those dreams, I found out decades later, came from the devil. And I was sent into a den of thieves. I was sent into, how you might say, raised by wolves in sheep's clothing. And that's what's going on in the institutional church today. You are being raised by people, men and women, in sheep's clothing. And who, for the most part, if they have power, are operating by the power of the devil. And that is because the enemy knew what he was doing. His primary task is to come against the babes so that they don't grow, but even further than that, that they become so disappointed in Christianity and ultimately disappointed and unbelieving in Christ. And that's how you lose your salvation. So once a babe has got their salvation, then it's the enemy's task to try to cause that babe to lose it. And I am not one that believes once saved, always saved. And I see in 43 years specific ways that the enemy tried to get me to lose my salvation. But it didn't work. But it could have worked. But by the grace of God and the mercy of God, it did not work. But there are some that are going to lose their salvation because they have submitted themselves to be raised by wolves in sheep's clothing. Now, I can't raise everybody. There's a limit. So what I'm doing is maturing others to raise others. Now, I'm not like saying the way that the hood raises their kids. The kid has no natural parents, no strong influence in the home. So he goes out in the street and he gets raised up by his peers who teach him how to shoot a gun and how to steal and all the rest of that kind of thing. But he's getting raised because there's somebody there that's got some care and some attention towards him. Pam Shepherd Ministries, we raise, we pastor, we tend. In other words, we protect from the devil. And we raise others to maturity who can then serve as pastors to raise others. So contact me. 888-818-1117 or getreadyforthelord@gmail.com.